to our channel. It is April, so you know what that means. It means another recap of what is coming out this month.
What we have to look forward to in April.
Yeah, so just more books for you to add to your TBR. So we'll start with April 1st and all the other release. If you're new here, most book release happen on Tuesdays. So most of these dates are Tuesdays. There are a few strays that are exceptions, but for the most part, these book releases do happen on Tuesdays. So we're super excited because April is just a fun
so full
month,
of books.
especially if you're a romance reader.
Yeah.
So there's so much to look forward to, and I think that we should just get to it because we
And
have a lot.
before we jump in though, I'm Sierra.
Oh yes, and I'm Serenity. I just got so excited.
Yeah. And thank you for joining our channel. And then if you're new here, please stick around. Please like and subscribe, comment down below, and then let us know what books you're most excited for. But like Sterling said, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it, starting with April 1st.
You can go.
Okay. April 1st, the first book that we have written down is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. He's a veterinarian. Had an amazing first date, but forced to admit not in a place for a relationship, and begs Xavier to forget her and just remember their night as a perfect moment. But no amount of time is enough to forget their single perfect memory. A little romance. Abby Jimenez does a good job at writing a romance novel, but then also talking about deeper and heavier topics, and I can really appreciate her for that.
Yeah, I was looking into this one, and it was basically talking about how there's like underlying like secret family stuff going on as well. So I think that that'll be an interesting and fun subplot to read. And my last year, what book just for the summer? She released Just for the Summer, and everyone on TikTok was sobbing. So I don't know if this will be another one of those.
Probably.
I guess we'll see. The next book on April 1st lineup is, I'm very excited about this, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. If you know anything about me, you know Jessa Hastings wrote Magnolia Parks, and that is one of my favorite series of all time. This book, the description of it is kind of, I guess I want to say like vague, ambiguous, like it's very broad, but it does follow family drama with a heavy dose of romance and a twist of mystery. It's London based, and it follows Georgia Carter, who is a professional lie detector and like body language reader. Like she just kind of has that skill. She can kind of pick up on people's vibes, which I thought was interesting and would be kind of a fun perspective in the book. Also, a little Easter egg moment is in one of the books, I think it was Henry brings Georgia to one of the dinners and is like, this is Georgia, she's my friend I met from university, and her brother is whatever, and she's from whatever. So she was like introduced as an Easter egg character in Magnolia Parks.
Cool.
This does not mean that this has anything to do with the Magnolia Parks series, but it's within the same universe, the little Easter egg. I think that that's cool, kind of like how Emily Henry will leave those Easter eggs of like August and January writing the books, those kind of things. So I just thought that was a cool little note.
It's exciting. Then the next book that we have is Swept Away by Beth O'Leary. I read a book by Beth O'Leary and it was so well written. It was one of those books that
The no-show.
Yeah, the no-show that I just didn't know. I didn't really read the back of the book. I just went in with no expectations, and it was so good. But anyways, Swept Away by Beth O'Leary is about what if you just got swept away at sea with a guy you just met. Zeke is only in town to buy back his late father's boathouse. Zeke and Lexi wake up to see that they can only see miles and miles of water. So sounds like they're a little stuck on a boat together, and I don't know. That sounds like something I would read. She does a really good job with character development and books, so I'm excited to see. What an exciting April 1st.
Yeah, 3 like very fun sounding reads.
Yeah.
So next is April 3rd. This is not Tuesday, but the book is In Good Company by Kat Singleton. I thought that this looked very interesting, and I thought that it looked up Sears alley, I'm not gonna lie.
Cool.
So, exclusive country club in the Hamptons, billionaire private chef forced proximity.
Okay.
here's the kicker: ex-boyfriend's older brother. That's crazy. But Lucy's a private chef, and her ex-boyfriend's brother offers her a job as a private chef in the Hamptons, and it's a great
So
opportunity.
why not take it?
Yeah. So that's the gist of it, and it is the start of a like standalone series. It's the first book in that series. So yeah, I think that it does sound interesting. I'll have to check when April 3rd comes if it is on Kindle Unlimited, because it sounds like something that would be on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, this is true. And then we jump right into April 8th, which is a Tuesday. The first book that I had written down is Fair Play by Louise Hegarty. Hopefully I said that correctly. This is a genre-breaking literary debut from Ireland that's a homage to the brilliant detective novels of the early 20th centuries. It's a twisty modern murder mystery and searing exploration of grief and loss.
Oh wow. The next book is The Griffin Sisters Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner, a glimmering novel set in the world of pop music about sisters, motherhood, young love, and dreams we chase. I think that sounds cool.
I feel like you would
sounds
probably...
like a women's fiction. Yes, I feel like it's for those that loves Daisy Jones and the Six. I did not read Daisy Jones and the Six, but I'm the biggest advocate for Daisy Jones and the Six because I watched the TV show and it was just so good. And everyone tells me I need to listen to the audiobook. I need to read the book, and I do.
She refers to Daisy Jones and the Six.
I do. I make references all the time. You would think that I have read it.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid. But this is by Jennifer Weiner.
But it kind of gives that vibe.
Pack, I'm pretty sure. So she, not her debut novel. A lot of people liked that book last year.
And then coming out next is Passion Project by London Cherry, which I also just think London Cherry is such an iconic name. But The Passion Project, it's an adventurous romance about finding love when you least expect it in bustling Manhattan. So she's kind of lost her passion and she doesn't really, I feel like you kind of go through that a little bit in your 20s.
Yeah,
what am I passionate about? What is my purpose? And they start The Passion Project to kind of figure out what her passion is. And I think it's her and some guy or whatever, and they started. He's like, I'm gonna help you find your passion.
I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I think once you find out what you're passionate about and whatnot, everything else just kind of falls
in place for sure.
So the next book is April 9th, On Guard, and the book is On Guard by Kels and Denise Stone. The second book in the Hastings series, a collection of interconnected standalone sport romances about Hastings siblings of sport royalty. This book is bad boy of professional fencing meets Hollywood favorites good girl. The first book in the series is Close Knit, but fencing book, I think that's interesting. I obviously know that fencing is it's an Olympic sport, but I've never seen it in the sports romance
world
realm. Yeah.
They're two best friends.
Sport to learn about.
Kels and Denise Stone, they're two best friends, and they write romance books together.
That's adorable. I actually aspire. I think we should do that.
Yeah, it's adorable. I love it. I was looking at their website whenever I was looking into the book, and I was like, "This is so cool." And the cover.
Oh, that's why it's called On Guard. I cannot believe it's
On Guard. Yep. And then going into April 10th, we have What If I Never Get Over You by Paige Toon. It took 3 days to fall in love, 6 years to try and forget. Ellie did not expect while driving Europe to meet a man like Ash. However, 3 blistering days in Lipson is all it takes for an unforgettable connection, deep enough for them to plan to meet again in Madrid, but Ellie ends up arriving a day late and he's nowhere to be found. 6 years later, the memory of Ash and their time still really has a hold of her. She hopes that her dream job as a gardener in a grand estate in Wales will bring a fresh start for what she desperately needs. And then 6 years later, he tries to meet up with her again, and so it's just kind of like it's giving a second chance romance.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like Paige Toon writes quite a few second chance romances. I read a book from her last year. Okay, the next book is Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. This book is available on the Aardvark Book Club, like book releases. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It was available because it starts April 1st. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that it comes out April 10th and it's available. But anyways, follows best-selling romance author who flees to Alaska to reinvent herself and write her first murder mystery. But the rugged resort soon has her fearing that she's living in a rom-com plot instead of this earnestly like mystery kind of vibe that she was going for. So this is her debut novel, and I am actually, this sounds cute and I'm stoked to read it.
It looked really cute.
Yeah, the cover to it, adorable.
Yeah, adorable.
So maybe that's the one I will order for this month.
The next book on April 10th is The Maid's Secret by Nita Prose. This is when Molly brings old trinkets to be appraised on the show. One item is revealed to be a rare artifact worth millions of dollars. Molly becomes a rags to riches sensation, and media frenzy swirls as she prepares to sell her priceless treasure.
Wow.
Then, on auction day, the treasure suddenly vanishes, and Molly and her friends find themselves at the center of the boldest art heist in recent memory. But the key to the mystery lies in the past, a long-forgotten diary written by Molly's gran. For the first time ever, Molly learns about her grandmother's secret, how she was born into a wealthy family and fell head over heels in love with a man her parents deemed below her. As fate would have it, Gran's greatest love was someone Molly knows quite well.
Wow.
I know, doesn't it sound so good? And I think it's because I just finished the last Julian book. The last Julian and Daisy Hayes book in the Magnolia Park
So
series.
that's why you called it the Julian book.
Yeah, because Julian.
The Great Undoing.
The Great Undoing, I just finished it. And so art heists are just like top in my brain. So any heist type of angsty.
You're itching for it.
Itching.
I feel
Itching
that.
for
I
it.
feel that. The next book, April 11th, it is called The Page Turner by Beloa Shipman. Emma Page grew up the black sheep in a bookish household, raised to believe that fine literature is the only worthy type of fiction. Her parents self-proclaimed serious authors who run their own vanity press, the Mighty Pages, mingle in the highbrow social circles but look down on anything too popular or mainstream, while her sister Jess is a powerful social media influencer whose stylish reviews can make or break a novel. Hiding in her own romance manuscript from her disapproving parents, Emma finds inspiration at the family cottage among the fluff despite the juicy summer romance that belonged to her late grandmother. But a chance discovery unearthed that her Gigi's belongings reveal a secret that has the power to ruin her parents' business and destroy their reputation.
Oh,
Wow.
does it sound good?
And now she must decide what she wants to do
Does she want to continue?
with writing or yeah. Oh my goodness, that sounds juicy. That sounds good.
I know. I love a
Yeah.
little like family, like,
Yeah, that
Like
sounds like an
breaking-
interesting dynamic. Yeah.
doesn't it? I got no clue what the sound was, but anyways, on April 15th, The Perfect Divorce by Genevieve Rose comes out, and so The Perfect Marriage was first.
Yes.
So-
I read that in like a day.
Yeah, so read that one first, and then The Perfect Divorce it has been 11 years since Sarah Morgan defended her husband against the charge of murdering his mistress. After discovering her new husband, Bob, engaged in a one-night stand, she wastes no time in filing divorce. However, amid their ugly separation, DNA and evidence is now uncovered against the case of her ex-husband Adam, forcing the police to reopen that investigation and putting Sarah back in the spotlight. Everyone wants to know what happened with the initial murder case, especially Deputy Hudson, who is hell-bent on finding the truth. But when the woman Bob had slept with is reported missing, him and Sarah start to fight dirty, and a high-stake game of cat and mouse ensues. So, I thought that sounded juicy,
Does sound really good.
and it sounds really good, and it sounds like a page turner. finally a mystery like thriller one that I had. That Serenity's like, okay, I could.
Yeah,
I
it
could
doesn't.
read it.
Well, I think it's because I also read the first one, but it's crazy.
Was the first one crazy? I didn't read the Brick Marriage.
The problem with the first one is I like predicted it all along. So it's like, oh.
The next one is The Influencers by Anna Marie McLemore. And this one I thought was interesting because it's social media's influencer empire is burnt to the ground, literally. The top suspects are the daughters who made her famous. And so this just kind of like explores current like influencer culture and like, you know, being the children making their parents famous and just kind of like the exploration of that.
Is it nonfiction?
Yeah. No. It's fiction.
Oh, it's like a lit fic?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's just like homage to like influencer culture. I don't know if it's like a
like a satire tema.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so I thought that sounded real good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I know, because I feel like no one really writes. We had that era of everyone writing podcasting
Type
books.
Oh, okay. I see the vibe.
But then now, like, it's like influencers and the empire being burnt to the ground, and I don't know. Sound
Very
interesting.
cool.
And the kids probably being mad that.
Yeah. So the next book is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. It is the fourth book in the Done and Dusted series, or the Rebel Blue Branch series. The first book being Done and Dusted. I did read the first one. I own the second one, the third one, but not the second one. So that's what has kind of stopped me from completing the series. But it is a fun cowboy romance. If you're a fan of the Chestnut Springs, then I highly recommend this series. I think that you would like this one. But this follows Camilla Ashwood, and it is a second chance romance with her and Dusty. So I think that that's fun. These are interconnected standalones, and who can go wrong with a good old cowboy? And I think that the setting is so nice. Like, it's just all on a ranch. I think that there's a coziness about it.
On April 15th, the next book that comes out is Bridesmaid by Chance by Megan Quinn. This is the third one in Bridesmaid for Hire series. I have not read the series yet, but it does always look cute and funny. This one is about Hudson, who's kind of in some trouble after doing his business partner wrong, so he owes his business partner Judd a favor, so he hires his younger sister Salome, and Hudson finds out very quickly that she is a massive distraction, especially now since she is his assistant. But then they are confronted with a situation where Salome is told that she now needs to fill in as a bridesmaid. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that
So
kind of
he's already in trouble with his business partner, and then now he's like distracted by his business partner's sister.
sounds like Hudson has got himself in a sticky situation. I'm ready to see how he's going to get himself out of it.
That's
That's
right.
for
I
sure.
know that's right.
I know that's right.
The next book, next date, April 22nd. What a busy Tuesday we have. Really, because Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry comes out, and I am so excited about this. I have read every Emily Henry book besides People with Me on Vacation, but that's going to change soon. So this follows two writers compete for the chance to tell a larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple plot twists up her sleeve in this dazzling, sweeping away novel. Emily Henry, when she released it, described it to, like, with one Taylor Swift song, and it was the great American Dynasty.
Really?
Yup.
Yeah,
I know, right? So I think that sounds so cool.
sounds good. I haven't read any of Emily Henry's
Yes,
books
Sarah
yet,
needs to get on it.
so I know I need to get on it. On April 22nd, the next book that comes out is Anywhere You Go by Bridget Moisery. This is about a small town waitress and a big Broadway press agent swap homes to escape the messiness of their personal lives, only to find new purpose and love. And to me, that's just giving The Holiday.
I was just about to say that. I said,
It's giving
okay,
The Holiday
the holiday.
without it being holiday season.
Yeah.
So, sign me up. It's Christmas in July before Christmas in July. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. cute.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
The final book on April 22nd is Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Crewson. 13 years ago, Providence Bird threw the family car in reverse and ran over her mother. That's crazy. Even though her mother survived, that single instant of teenage madness made Providence a felon, and it completely altered her life. When her mother, obviously, yeah.
I put this one in the list.
When her mother disappears years later under suspicious circumstances, Providence tells herself that returning home is her chance to find closure with her mother after that prolonged estrangement from her family. I mean, yeah. Never mind that this is only half the truth. She's also returning to finally confront her abusive father, Tom Bird. Nothing can stamp out Providence's certainty that he's guilty of whatever terrible thing has happened with her mother. Well, that sounds heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. I'm curious as to why she felt the need to run her mother over, but you know,
I don't.
that's crazy. That's wild. Okay.
I
Moving
know.
on. April 24th.
April
Okay, let's
24th.
do it.
Sawyer by Jessica Peterson.
Okay, I just
This-
have to say real quick, the cover to this book is beautiful.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
So this is Lucky River Ranch, book number 3. So it's a little, I think it's a little I think it's standalone if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
This says Dirty Dancing leads to a chance at forever in the sizzling single parent found family small town romance. So a recently divorced single mom, she has zero interest in flirting with new guys, while on a rare girls' night outing weekend away with her sister, she just wants to have fun and celebrate her new promotion or her new job and listen to live music at the honky tonk when she literally stumbles into the most gorgeous guy on the dance floor, and those plans go right up in smoke. Growing up on the barrel racing circuit, I'm not immune to the charms of a cowboy.
I don't know. She might not be
A
immune to
little
his
cowboy,
charm. It's 'cause
romance.
it's getting summer. It's 'cause
Yeah, all the cowboy romance is coming out because it's summer.
Now, our next one, April 24th, is Work Trip by Chloe Forward. For Fliss, the prospect of team building work trip fills her with dread. I mean, yeah, same. Mostly because she cannot stand her pushy colleague, James, who attempts to derail her brilliant plans. But when the two arrive to the Scottish Highlands, they find themselves facing unique challenges. This is the second book this year that, well, I already read a book like this, kind of. That a work trip takes place in Ireland. Like every book this year is taking place like
It's because it was
in
a leap
Ireland.
year.
It was not a leap year this year.
Well, because last year was a leap year.
I don't know.
Not this year, because last year was a leap year. So then people got inspiration from leap year last year.
Oh,
and they started
maybe.
writing.
Was it actually leap year last year?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. Just
It's
sometimes
every
I-
4 years.
Yeah, I know what leap year is, bro. They find themselves facing a unique challenge. Their boss has abandoned them in the middle of nowhere, only with one. Sorry, I heard a noise. I'm not scared. They find themselves facing a unique challenge. Their boss has abandoned them in the middle of nowhere with only one tent, 2 sleeping bags, and a few protein bars. Wow, my nightmare, camping. They're completely cut off from the outside world and are forced to put aside their differences to weather the unpredictable elements of the highlands to get home as they set out on a journey across miles of rugged wilderness. Oh my gosh. So this is like an enemies to lovers, and that honestly sounds so bad. Like the book sounds good, but that sounds like my nightmare. Being stuck camping with someone I cannot stand.
That does sound like
That sounds like a full
This
mental
should be
breakdown
a
for me.
rom-com. Like this should
This
be
sounds like a
funny.
movie.
This sounds
It
like
a movie.
funny.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm just saying.
Like it's gonna have to be funny.
My heart goes out to this girl, to my girl Fliss. Like that has to be.
Poor
She
Fliss.
has to be going through it.
Then we move on to April 25th. It's Just Say Yes by Lena Hendricks. So getting tangled up with an Olympic rugby player seems like the
rugby.
perfect way to forget about how my life is falling apart until I discover he's my ex-boyfriend's best friend. Wolf. Logan Brown walked into my small town with a charming grin and mischievous eyes. He's a world-class flirt and a confident and his confident masculinity is almost distracting as those rugby thighs. So, I
Wow.
mean, this is the second Olympic one, too.
Yeah, it's wild. Rugby, interesting.
I don't think I've read a rugby.
Yeah, I feel like I
romance.
feel like I kind of want to read it so I know more about rugby.
I
Honestly.
haven't read a fencing sports romance, and I haven't read a rugby one. So
Honestly, we're getting educated.
we're
in
gonna
sports.
learn about sports this year.
Yeah. April 29th. The next book is King of Envy by Anna Huang. It's in the King of Sin series. It's book number 5. It's the billionaire trope, and an engagement is a business arrangement, but no one knows. I've heard amazing things about this series
Me
of
too.
the King of Sin. I think that it's a cool concept, and it's been on my radar for a while, and then it's kind of been like heightened lately. So please, if you've read it, let me know if you think that I should start that series sooner rather than later. Is it a series that I could just binge? Because I'm definitely in the mood for something like that. I'm still getting out of a reading slump, okay?
Then the next one on April 29th is My Best Friend's Honeymoon by Merle Wilsner. And this is where two lifelong best friends go on a non-refundable honeymoon together and discover sometimes to find happily ever after, you just have to ask.
Oh,
Yeah.
why'd they go on the honeymoon together? I know that's the point of the book.
I didn't fully,
That's probably the point of the book.
I don't think it fully like disclosed. I don't know. That's the little
Well, that
the
sounds
little
cute.
note that I got from it. But I don't know.
We could
It
go on a
kinda
honeymoon
gave-
together.
We could. It's kind of giving honeymooners, the honeymooners.
Yeah,
You know.
cute.
So
Cute.
we'll have to see.
The next book is Bearer of Bad News by Elizabeth Deeney. A sharply funny and moving, it's her debut novel, in which a young woman accepts a job that takes her through Italy and into the international mystery far greater and more personal than she could have ever expected. So she's learning a lot about herself and the world around her. So that sounds interesting.
Okay, so the next one, April 29th, is Up Close and Personal by Anna Holgen. And this is a jaded journalist challenges the fitness world's hottest spin instructor to show she isn't a scam in this clever, compelling, hate-to-love romance.
Interesting.
I know.
Spin instructor.
Another like little, I don't want to say, I mean sport-ish, but like workout vibe
Yeah, it's
thing
cute.
that is different. That is different. So I thought that
I
was
can
so-
feel the summer rays just
I
approaching.
know, it's just
approaching.
giving like,
spring. It's like spring break rays.
I know.
I love it. And then the last book on our April list is The Bad Boy Rule by Maren Moore. The cover to this adorable.
So
It's the first book in the Hellcat hockey series. Maren Moore wrote The Mistletoe Bet, which I read either last Christmas or the Christmas before.
Yeah.
And this is a hockey romance.
She's read a lot more than
Who
just
can-
the Mistletoe
yeah,
Bet. The
but that's
Mistletoe
a
Bet
book
is
that
just a book that
I've
we've both read.
Yeah. Who can go wrong with a little hockey romance?
And this is the first one in like
In
her
yeah,
like the
so-
Hellcat hockey series. So I must, well, if it's number one and she's saying it's number one, then there's going to be more little interconnected standalones, which I love a good hockey interconnected standalone.
Yeah, so if you're looking to start, I think sometimes it's fun finding the interconnected standalones like from the jump and kind of like being on top of it as they release.
Yeah.
I think that's
So you get kind of invested in
Yeah.
the journey.
very much so. Well, that concludes our April reads or April releases. Sorry. So just
Not our April reads yet.
not yet.
Not yet.
So some April releases for you. It is not a like full list of every single book that is coming out because we might have missed a couple things here or there.
Definitely did.
But it is a list that we have compiled based off of books that sound interesting to us and books that we think that you guys would find interesting. So if there's anything that we have missed that you feel like we would like or whatnot, please comment down below and let us know. But until then, happy reading.
Like and comment and subscribe. And thank you so much for joining our family.
Let us know which one's going on your TBR. Bye.